Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Avernum 6. We're at the castle. Last time we talked to our new commander and got our next official assignment, but we're not quite done exploring this place. We have a couple of things. Well, I just want to explore the entire place, obviously. We're also looking for a quest NPC, a certain Lark, for the quest that we picked up back at the food depot. We have been told about a skill trainer, magical trainer, possibly more skills though, hopefully, but well, we'll see, I guess. And yeah, but mostly I just want to know what there is in this place, and there might be more quests to pick up, actually. There is a technical thing, just a quick note on the technical side. As I mentioned at some point, I am recording this, I'm playing this in windowed mode, but it's a kind of a weird resolution that is almost 1080p, but not quite, despite that being what I initially told the game to start at, but honestly this is working fine for me. However, because it's not quite 1080p resolution, I think, at least for me, the episodes up on YouTube so far are only available in 720p, because I guess since it's not quite 1080p resolution, YouTube just converts it down to the next smaller one, which I guess kind of makes sense, definitely from their perspective. But that means that image quality is less than what it could be. So I am now recording in, even though I'm still playing in a lower resolution, I'm recording it in 1080p. So ideally, from this episode forward, it should also be available as a 1080p video on YouTube. Hopefully helping with image quality a little bit. We'll see how that works out. So, yeah, just as a quick note. And, well, I suppose that's that. Let's take a look at the rest of the barracks here, I guess. I suppose I must have been in this room at one point. You're guarding that locker. Oh, wait, I can actually interact with it, huh? Oh. Wait, from here? It says it's locked. No? Wait, so long as any party member is within reach, I guess. But from here? I cannot interact with it? Okay, that's kind of weird. I did not expect to be able to click on this at all with the person standing in front of it. But as it turns out, I'm also not allowed to take anything, so there's that. Alright, let's see how much of an upper level there actually is here. Is it really just... I guess it is more than just a tower in each corner of the castle, is it? Yeah, this is definitely bigger than I thought. Overnight soldier. What have we here? I would like to not enter the door right away. Instead, can I? Spy master. Okay. Oh, but the door is locked and unpickable. Interesting. Do you have anything to say? No, you're just generic. Alright. Interesting. Spy master. I guess we're gonna officially deal with that person, whoever that might be, at some point. This would be the other staircase. Yeah. Okay. So maybe this is its own little separate area. Okay. Also too complicated. And too complicated. Gotcha. So those are... Well, I mean, there might be something else, but... Those might get unlocked as quest rewards and have things like, well, obviously loot, but also spell books and whatnot, or skill books, if those are a thing. I guess we'll have to actually, complete some assignments to gain access to those promised rewards. Royal Guard, what have we here? Throne room, oh. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. It's also locked, though. Maybe that's just a back door to the throne room? You climb the ladder and attempt to open the trapdoor at the top. Alas, it's securely barred from the other side. Interesting. Is that just so they didn't have to include a basically useless empty map for what is probably really just a watchtower on this corner? Or... will we actually unlock that from the other side at some point? Why don't we go along the perimeter? Actually, never mind. I already saw the store and the the plaque here. Although, I guess we know that it's the throne room, and this is also locked. So is the throne room just off limits for now? Seems that way. Interesting. I guess maybe the king is not currently home. Caravan Guard Canox, okay. Do we know what this place is? Visitors Dining Hall, ah yes. I think this place might have been mentioned by Mary Hugh. This is the castle ballroom. It was once used to host parties and banquets so that Avernum could prove that it was a civilized nation. Of course, potentates from the Empire were never impressed. Now that the rugs have been rolled up and the paintings have been put in storage, this is where soldiers and visitors to the castle can come for a quick meal before setting back out into the caves. You can always come here for a little bit of food, no more than you need. Not even in the castle is a single scrap allowed to go to waste. Well, thankfully we don't need to worry about food. That is definitely a simplification from the very early games that I am very happy to see no longer around. Canox. Who knows? These days in Avernum, having a job handing out food can be very dangerous. That is probably why the head chef of the castle is a huge muscular man with a large, vicious cleaver hanging from his belt. When he sees you, he waves you over and checks the insignia on your shoulder. New soldier here, eh? Well, you'd better get to know me. I'm Canox. Come get rations from me before you head out. But I warn you, he pats the cleaver. Don't get greedy. Yeah, that's fine. You're in charge of the rations here? He nods. Semes, the quartermaster. He handles the blades and the armor and the wands and whatnot. But if it's food, it goes through me. And I'm fair. That's why I have the honor. What do you serve? Because of the blight, we have very few mushrooms. And since that's where most of our food came from, either eaten by us or the lizards we eat, that's a real problem. I have fish, what little mushroom meal we have left, some stringy lizard meat, and what little comes down to us through the great portal. It should last, but it will be close. I can get food here? All soldiers based here can. Not enough to make you happy, but enough so you can fight. And don't ask for more. Don't waste your strength. You're fair? I am. Everyone wants more. Commanders, generals, mages. They all have a reason why they're so important that I should let them get fat. And I always say no. King or commoner, in my kitchen you eat the same. Starus wants it to be that way everywhere. He's a wise man. How does that make him wise? We are all Avernites. We're family. We rise or sink together, and we can't stay together if everyone resents how much their neighbor is eating. King Starus is a wise man. He also probably has his own personal food supply somewhere. Or maybe not. Let's assume that he's actually a just king, until proven otherwise. How are the food supplies holding out? He shakes his head. Sorry, you have to be a higher rank before you can get that information. It's not something we talk about. Okay, I mean, I was just hoping that he might be the person we deliver the bags of meal to, which would make sense if that were the case, but maybe not. So, can I have some food? Thanks for the roll. Can I have more food? I'm tempted to try that, but no, let's not. That's all I need, I guess. And indeed, I think that's all? Yeah. I mean, thanks for the one roll for the 4 of us. Very generous of you. Very, very fair, I guess. Wait, did we actually enter here? I don't remember actually entering this room, but even though it was fully mapped, so who knows. Avernite bureaucrat. There are several bureaucrats in this office, well, 2 actually, shuffling along a small portion of the paperwork that keeps Avernum running. Even in the underworld, on the frontier of human existence, there are records. They are surprisingly eager to speak with you, but they know very little about what is going on outside these walls. They never touch any military information. Alright. Fair enough. Nothing important here. Caravan drivers. The dining hall is filled with soldiers, carriers, caravan drivers, and so on, each grabbing a small precious meal before returning to the roads of Avernum. You speak with them for a short time, trading tales and sharing gossip. They give you an idea of how chaotic and dangerous things in Avernum have become. It is interesting, but it doesn't make you feel reassured. Quite the opposite. Well, I don't know what we expected here. Okay, there is an upper floor to this. Alright, some private quarters. And some more. Okay, I think I just saw that guard yawning there. Through the wall, basically. Or heard them, I suppose. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's a Valentine. You had heard rumors that there was an actual Valentine living in the castle. They were actually true. He is standing right before you. There are very few members of that ancient and alien race of cave dwellers in Avernum. This one sits here in surprisingly sparse quarters, surrounded by a few pieces of their alien furniture. He looks up at you as you enter. His mouth twists slightly, though you don't know anywhere near enough about the Valentine to know what that expression means. Okay. That is Skull-Earno. Alright, I think that's a name well, I should be probably more familiar with than I am, but it does sound familiar at least. Skull-Earno. You get a closer look at the Valentine, who has made the castle his home for over 20 years. He sits on a stone chair, staring deeply into the crystal before him. So apparently this game takes place 10 years after Avernum 5. So if this guy has been living in the castle for 20 years, he's definitely been around for, during the previous game, possibly even Avernum 4, and, well, technically, potentially even the games earlier than that, but I don't know the exact timeline for all of them. But yeah, I mean, I'm 90% sure, at least, that I've probably met this person before. And I'm sure they're going to tell us at least a little bit about their backstory. If only I were to actually start reading. So you get a closer look at the Valentine, yes. He sits on a stone chair, staring deeply into the crystal before him. For the Valentine, crystals are the heart of both magic and religion. He is wrapped in a thin, translucent cloak, their traditional garb. The fabric shimmers slowly in the dim light, changing color every moment. Then he ends his meditation and looks up at you. A visitor, not a surprise. I am Skull-Earno. It is nice to have those to talk to at the end. At the end? What are you talking about? What is your purpose in the castle? I am a diplomat. Diplomat is not the right word. I can talk to Valentine of different clans, groups, tribes. I carry messages from them to the castle and back, so the humans can keep from overly enraging their kind. Okay, I guess that's useful. How did you come to be here? I came during you call it the Time of Shades. Okay, so he has been around since 4. A time of violence between my people and yours. Very sad. Once here, I saw I should stay. How do you communicate with them? Do you travel? No, I communicate from here. We have many ways. He doesn't elaborate. The humans enrage the Valentine? When you infringe upon our lands, when our presence exhausts the caves, we Valentine hibernate and let them regenerate. A talent your kind lacks, alas. But when you move into our lands while we sleep, we can be irked upon awakening. Such a thing recently happened in the low caverns to the north. But that was settled happily and peacefully. How? The Blight, the attack on the Slitzerikai. The human invaders fled for their lives. The attack of the Slitzerikai. The human invaders fled for their lives, and the Valentine seized their land. Ah, you might not find that to be a happy conclusion. Oh well, you might not find that to be a happy conclusion. Okay, so there is actually a Valentine settled area now in these upper caves? Interesting. Okay. Looking forward to that. To exploring that place. You said something about the end? Oh, because, well... yeah, because of the current situation, I suppose. That kind of end. Avernum has faced many crises, but this one... we Valentine have lived through the story before. We know how it ends. But such talk, I have found, causes aggravation among your kind. I will not speak further. Except to say this. Everything ends. Yeah, I mean, honestly... nothing against the Slitzerikai, but this whole blight thing, engineering an entire, plague that I guess selectively affects, or primarily affects the type of mushrooms that Evernites depend on for food. That seems like a pretty elaborate thing that I would, that sounds more like something Valentine would be able to do and would think up in the first place than the Slivzerikai, necessarily. So maybe they really are just taking advantage of the situation. And, I mean, it would make perfect sense for some Valentine to have come up with this plan and, you know, set it into motion. Including expecting the Slivzerikai to then, you know, start a war, making things worse and driving humans out even faster. Also, I mean, lived through this story before. I am assuming he's talking in more general terms and not that they have seen this exact type of blight happen before. But just food getting scarce naturally, I suppose. Anyway, there's something else I would like to know. Is there? About me or my people? Well, he looks at the insignia on your shoulder. The humans here can grow irritable if I spend too much time speaking with the lower classes. Excuse me. Perhaps you should go. I will return to my meditation. Pardon. Good day. Lower classes, huh? So, in other words, become more important and he's actually going to talk to us more? Razor discs. Well. Huh? Ooh. Not my property, but technically I could take these things. Which are pretty good. Well, I mean, the cloak is not super exciting, but obviously better than what we have. The wave blade, though, that's pretty good. Stealing too many items makes a ton of sense. I think this kind of tooltip is actually new. I don't remember it being this explicit, but I think I have learned at some point in the past that the stealing in these games always work this way, basically, where people or an entire place wouldn't get hostile immediately, but there was basically for each place there was a certain number of items that you could safely take, and past that point, you know, people would get aggressive. So I could probably get away with taking this, but then we're also going to, you know, find more of those that we don't need to steal. It's fine. When you get close to the crystal, you see dim, flickering shapes inside. For a moment, you imagine that someone is inside looking out at you. Then a powerful headache explodes inside your skull. That sounds unpleasant. The migraine is so fast and intense that it takes a great effort not to vomit. You stagger away. After all of his years here, the castle must be aware that Galierno has this device. It has wards on it to keep you away. You maintain a safe distance. Wait. It did not have any wards on it to keep me away. Or, okay, I guess the wards are what made me nauseous. What would have been pretty useful as well would just be to lock the room, maybe? So that people can't just wander in randomly. But that's okay. Oh, so we can head up this ladder. Ooh. Iron Spear. Why, hello there. 8 to 24? Yes. You know what? You can have that one. Can you, though? It's worth 20 bucks. You know what? I need all the money. All the money I can possibly get. Huh. Healing herbs. Don't mind if I do. Only a single ladder leading up to this entire... Oh, hold on. Oh, we can't take those things. Alright. Yeah, this entire upper wall here, it's only accessed through this one single ladder. Alright. Fair enough, I guess. Also almost forgot to actually check this staircase here. The actual kitchen is upstairs, alright, why not? There's some free meal. A free meal lying around. Don't mind if I do. take that either. Do we have a head chef or... Well, I suppose the head chef is... what's his face downstairs? Okay, a suspicious little unused space here. Immediately makes me look out for buttons. Don't see any, though. The castle kitchen is full of workers struggling desperately to stretch any scrap of edible material that comes into their hands. They're very impressed by your rank and status, such as it is, but you don't learn anything useful from them. Alright. Okay, that's how we get in here. Ah, the magical laboratory. This is a small, or alchemical workshop, I guess. The work here seems focused on what to treat the plague, on ways to treat the plague that is afflicting the crops of Avernum. This isn't surprising. As soon as the blight appeared, alchemists began to hunt for a cure. An enormous bounty was offered to the first to succeed. None have, yet. The floor here is covered with burn marks and long streaks of slime. Some of the tiny slime bits are still moving. Okay. Will we find some slimes to fight? Oh, hello, Sage Asta. This woman is wearing long flowing robes and an ankh hangs around her neck. She would fit in much better in a shrine or temple, if it weren't for the slime stains that cover or have burned through her garments. When you approach, she is trying to get a small cave slime back into a jar. She pokes at it with a stick and shouts a lot. Eventually it is confined, sealed inside with a thick cork. Then she turns, sees you, and gives a little bow. Good day to you, traveler. I'm known here as Sage Asta. I would love to give you succor and wisdom and teaching, though my calling lately has led me to a much different path. A lump of slime on the floor next to her begins to slither away. She stomps on it. How did you come to be here? I'm a traveler in the path of all life. Our sect travels through the lands, welcomed by all, spreading healing and the joy of communion with nature. I let the nature spirits call me into Avernum, which might not be working out. When I came to the castle offering my healing arts, Carelia suggested I put my knowledge of life to use, and so I remained here. As far as this work is from my main purpose. Carelia. That name is familiar, but I don't think we've actually met her, presumably. But I think Merryhugh might have mentioned her as maybe being the magical trainer, or maybe someone else. But yeah, why did you stay here? Because people are hungry and a disease afflicts their food. I respect the balance of life, but not to the point of allowing famine. Carelia was drawn to me immediately. She thought my knowledge could help to find a cure, and so I stay. What exactly are you trying to do? I'm looking for a way to destroy the blight. Something that might remove it from the afflicted crops, leaving the healthy mushrooms behind. I found that certain slimes are attracted to the blight. I'm trying to breed a sort that is too small to harm humans and large enough to consume the diseased mushrooms. You seem to be having problems. I have nothing but problems. Carelia urges me to stay on and bring my ideas to life, but the slimes are so... I'm sworn to love all things, all living things. Had I not, I would hate slimes. I really, really would. Were it not for Carelia's support, I would have given up long ago. Tell me more about Carelia. She's downstairs. Asta doesn't elaborate. Okay. What do you teach? Do you teach anything? I teach focusing rituals that can be used by the trained mind to heal and focus oneself. I could teach you if you're willing. It would be enjoyable for me, though I would be forced to ask for funds to continue my work. Well, let's take a look. Minor heal, curing, ward blessing, protection, repel spirit, and smite. I mean, minor heal is cheap enough. I don't think this is a per character thing, is it? Pretty average prices. Yeah, I mean, this is... No, this is actually... Yeah, this is a per character. Okay. But obviously only one person needs priest spells and only one person needs mage spells, so for those I don't have to worry about that. Other skills, of course, I'm going to have to buy for potentially multiple people. But that's okay. Curing, I mean, the more the spell cures, it's probably not that important, but, you know, ultimately I want this as well. You know, as well as all of these. Repel Spirit, Smite. Fires a powerful bolt of ice at one of your foes. Do we even have this yet? I don't think we do. Undead and otherworldly creatures. I don't think that's a priority for now, and until, you know, I've seen what else I could buy with our limited supply of money. I'm going to hold off on that. Because, I mean, basically, Lulu's offense is going to be her bow for the most part, right? That's the idea, at least. To save all her magic for buffing and healing. Tell me about your research. I breed slimes. I split them up into smaller slimes. I collect mushrooms with different sorts of blight. I feed the mushrooms to... I feed this mushroom to that slime and see if I can... what? I feed this mushroom to that slime and see if I can find... She shakes her head. It sounds mad to say it out loud. Do you really think that will work? No, but every possible sane thing we could try has failed. Now we must be creative. Do you need any help? Apparently, yes. She seems surprised. Help? Actual help? Actually, I could use some assistance. The work here requires mushrooms afflicted with every sort of blight. I could use 4 samples, 1 mushroom from each region. From the Great Cave, the Eastern Gallery, the Abyss, and the Northern regions. Then I could compare them. When exploring, watch for mushrooms that show signs of corruption and bring them to me. You would be doing me a great service. And if you could bring me those samples, there are things I could do for you in return. Alright. Where do you think the blight came from? Everyone seems to have that theory. Yeah, there are many theories. Some of them they strike me as paranoid. But I have wondered much. I know that new blights and diseases sometimes appear. Nobody knows how or why, but it always happens. The only question is how prepared you are to react. And how prepared was Avernum? I will let you decide that for yourself. Okay. Corrupted mushrooms. Well, that seems to be a rather more involved quest that we're not going to be solving very quickly, considering it literally requires us to go all over the place. What? Okay, there's a plaque on the other side of the wall, which we cannot read from here. What is this? The Royal Chambers. That's kind of what I thought. Above the throne room. This seems like a dangerous place to enter, potentially. It's too complicated to be picked. That as well, okay. Artifact procurement. Procurement, huh? Hello. Oh, hey, there's Lark. Good. Because we were kind of running out of places to go. Okay, we cannot take that fine leather. That's what I thought. That's also too complicated. Oh. Right, we had not actually... I did not mean to just click there. Sorry, just pretend you never saw any of that. Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, was there another staircase there? No, I mean, not that we had seen. Hello, Lark. Okay, 50 coins for delivering whatever it was. Oh yeah, Lark happily takes the chunk of twisted metal. Yes, yes, early Avernite magical construction. Very interesting as promised. She gives you a generous tip for your delivery. Oh. Also, hello, Lark. There's a mage in the storeroom, walking around with a scroll in one hand and a pen in the other, cataloging the piles of junk here. She sometimes grabs an item and moves it to a different shelf or throws it in the trash barrel. She isn't as pale and thin as the other Evernites in town. She has been in Avernum for a long time, but you doubt that she was born here. She seems very distracted, which, considering all the junk, is understandable. She looks up at you. Welcome. She looks at the insignia on your shoulder. Soldier. I'm Lark, hedge wizard and archivist. She looks over your equipment. Nothing of historical import there. Carry on. Yeah, unfortunately. The idea is to change that, though. I guess it might take a while before we're decked out in artifacts. Where are you from? She looks up at the ceiling, lost in memory. I was on the surface once. Sunlight, wind, food. Then I came down here, and I kept staying down here. Until now. Why did you come down here? You know, I'm not sure. Low rations must be fuzzing my memory. Probably for the same reason most magicians come down here, to do research and zap things without the Empire bothering us. Why did you stay? Well, it's also interesting down here. I'm only so good at magic, but I turned out to have a knack for forgetting things and finding things, deciphering old dragon scrolls, gathering bits of odd monsters. Papers on my discoveries have been read in the finest academies on the surface. I'm just naturally good at getting things. And you get the things yourself? Oh, I have been known to hire the occasional adventurer, but I tell them where to go. That part is very important. Yeah, I mean, she's obviously, if I hadn't mentioned it before, but that's not only a name I recognize, but also now that she, now that we've talked to her, I do remember that quest chain from, well, possibly Avernum 5. I mean, she's obviously only human, so she wouldn't have been around for, well, she could have been around for a few decades, I guess, but she doesn't seem that old. The game didn't describe her as such, so she couldn't have been around for much longer than Avernum 4, I suppose. But yeah, we definitely worked for her in the past, bringing her increasingly rare and dangerous to get monster parts, as she said. And we might be doing something similar again for her here. I have another question. Can you teach me any magic? Oh no, that has never been my specialty. Talk to Corellia or Asta. They can help you. So, what is all the stuff for? This stuff, as you call it, is a collection of fine historical and magical artifacts from all throughout the history of Avernum. I was brought here after the Blight struck to gather and catalog them. Historical and magical artifacts? Items of great fame and interest, and items of power, things we do not want lost. I find them and keep them safe, by the order of King Steris himself. And what happens to the stuff? Well, if it's not interesting or powerful, I discard it. If it is interesting but not very powerful, I barter it. And if it is an item of great fame or strength, it will be saved. Saved? Taken to the surface, where it will be held safe until Avernum is secure. Okay. Are you buying any equipment? I am, in fact. But nothing mundane. I'm so glad you asked, she giggles. Special things. And I don't pay with money, but with artifacts of only moderate power. And knowledge. For example, I want to recover the blessed athame. It is an item of some historical interest to scholars of Avernum. Plus, it can put scratches on just about anything, if that's the sort of thing you like to do. Putting scratches on things? Yeah, sure, I'm totally into that. Okay, I mean, that is also an item, of course, that we know from past entries in the series. Some sort of magical dagger. If someone recovered it for me, so it could be taken to safety, I would pay very well. What is an athame? A small ceremonial dagger. This one is most highly and effectively blessed and used for the etching of magical glyphs. Once stored safely in the Tower of Magi, it has since had a long and interesting tale. And where is the athame? She makes a small, happy hopping motion. Somehow I knew you would ask. It was being used to etch protective symbols in the northern forts, first Fort Emerald and then Fort Saffron. It was lost only recently. In tracing its path, the last I heard, it was taken to Fort Saffron a few months ago. Perhaps the commander there can help you to learn its fate. All right. We will do that. And I think we ask about everything. Yeah. Seems like it. Alright. Quest acquired. Too complicated to pick that lock. Fair enough. Also too complicated from both sides, right? Yes. Okay then. Oh, right. We never actually ventured into this safe-looking structure. Secure chamber, yes. Please don protective gear before entering. I mean, we are wearing armor. I think that counts as protective gear. No marauding slimes at all. This seems perfectly safe. Oh. This chamber is designed for magical experimentation and analysis. The thick walls are here to protect the rest of the castle from the inevitable poisonous or explosive mistakes. For example, right now this room is being used for experiments involving diseased mushrooms and living slimes. The vat by the north wall bubbles and hisses. Eventually the slimes within will be released and analyzed. Or they might sense prey, find a hole in the vat containing them, slither out and begin to spread chaos. And this is in fact what happens. Big surprise there. Okay, we got some cave slimes. Okay, yeah, I mean the names are obviously overlapping and all that, but they do indeed appear to be the same kind of cave slime that we've already encountered in the wild. Not some sort of magical super slime. I could try cold damage, but I think just fireballs should work just fine on them. That was almost a one-shot. I mean, how much damage did we deal with the... Oh, they're weakening us, okay. A bolt of fire dealt 23, alright, so we can absolutely not rely on one-shotting them with a fireball. Wow, this is... yeah. It's so easy to accidentally click on that item slot when trying to scroll. There we go, that's more like it. Some mushrooms, huh? But they're supposed to be diseased, so I don't think we want to eat those. Thank you very much. Okay, the vat can also not be clicked on anymore. This locker is full of dried samples of mushrooms, lichen and moss, taken from all of the lands of Avernum. All over the lands of Avernum. The samples are interesting from an alchemical perspective, but none of them are useful to you. You close the locker. Okay. That's that, huh? Well, I guess we got some experience just for killing the slimes. So there's that. Eventually we'll be able to dispel barriers, I suppose. And then we can take a look at that. Wait. Oh, okay. Not actually seen this or used this staircase yet. This is the lower laboratory, yes. So this should be where Corellia is. Indeed, there she is. And this must be the yeah, obviously this is the quartermaster that we saw standing around here. Portal pylon, please leave arrival platform clear. Okay, let's get attuned to it. Hello, Corellia. One of the sad side effects of the castle being so cramped is that the magical facilities, like the small alchemical laboratory, are so close to the dining hall and storage rooms, and yet the system has worked for decades. A middle-aged sage is here, mixing reagents and reducing mixtures. Despite her many years doing this hazardous work, she has escaped serious scarring or burning. Only faint green stains on her fingers mark her occupation. When you enter, she turns and smiles. I am Sage Corellia, alchemist and magical archivist. I was warned of your arrival and told to give you assistance. Such assistance as your rank merits, anyway. Okay. What is this workshop for? Research. Samples are brought to me for analysis. Diseased mushrooms, unusual new monsters, and so on. I examine them for the benefit of my superiors. I also make the odd potion when someone important needs it quickly. There are better places in Avernum for such work, but King Starus likes for some things to be done here. Where else does magical research take place? Mostly in Patrick's Tower, to the southwest, and the Tower Colony to the east. Anything large or explosive or dangerous is done there, far from the castle. You will find lots of quality wizards there, many from the surface. Why do wizards come down from the surface? Empire law is desperately strict about who can do magic and how much they can do. Any ambitious wizard who wants to do something exciting, they come to us. It's a great asset, unless they're insane, which unfortunately happens more often than you would... well, not more often than you would think. Just about as often as you would think, but definitely more often than would be preferable. Anyway, how long have you been here? Oh, for so long. Too long. She blushes a little. Since Roan brought me here during the time of Shades. He thought I could help find a way to defeat those creatures. I did, and they haven't let me leave since. Huh. Wait, I don't remember her name at all. Did she actually show up in Avernum 4? I mean, what she just told us here suggests that she actually played a key role in that game, but, I don't know, I guess she didn't leave much of an impression on me. Sorry, I guess. Roan? She sighs. A great wizard. One of the first. A hero of Avernum. You know, when a wizard reaches a certain level of power, they tend not to die until they decide that it's their time. 5 years ago, Roan... he decided. She turns and discreetly wipes her eyes with her sleeve. Okay. The time of Shades? Her voice takes on the practiced tone of one who has told the story many times. When the mad Valentine attempted to take her vengeance upon Avernum, she created 3 powerful shades with the ability to madden anyone near them and inflicted them upon our cities. Working with several adventurers, I found a weakness in those creatures, which led to their destruction. Okay. Yeah, weird. Corellia. That name absolutely rings not a single bell. Weird. It's a unique enough name that you would think that it would at least sound familiar, but nope. For that I was honored, etc. It's a long tale, and I don't think it's a good time to wallow in tales of Avernum's sorrow. No, also I could just quickly watch my, I don't know, 80 or so episode series on that game to remind myself. But not right now. Can I receive training? Of course. You're authorized. I can make magical learning available to you. Sadly, since supplies are limited, you will need to provide compensation for the materials we will use. Yeah, of course. Also, should you ever attain the rank of lieutenant, I can make a new class of rituals available to you. Okay, is that actually going to happen? Lieutenants? Well, looking forward to that, I guess. Can you teach holy rituals? I'm afraid I can't, but Asta can. She's upstairs. She would like, I'm sure, a distraction from her other work. Yes, indeed. Well then. Magic. Let's go. Improve Bolt of Fire, Call Beast, Cloak of Curses, Daze, Haste, Slow. Slow. Slows all nearby enemies, causing them to occasionally miss a combat round. And that does sound very useful. Okay, well, first, the obvious things, of course. Bolt of Fire. Not Call Beast, I just don't see myself using that any more in this game than I have in the past. Cloak of Curses. I mean, I haven't really been using that much yet. Your blades and projectiles have a chance of inflicting a curse. Okay. Can only have one cloak at a time. I don't know, this might not be something I use a lot in the long run. Maybe if one of the later cloaks just seems more useful. I don't know. Maybe I might settle for something more protective. Maybe. And for now, this has been a little bit too expensive to just use regularly. I guess we're probably getting to a point where we have enough energy to actually, you know, have this active most of the time. Oh. Let's see here. Duration increases. That seems very useful. Yeah, I mean, Daze has been so useful in the past. Improve haste. That's really expensive though. I think I'm gonna just learn slow for now and not improve either of them yet. But it's good to know that that's an option. Okay, I don't need to learn anything else. Can I purchase any potions? Oh no, I would get into trouble. Sam S. next door insists that all such assets, as he calls them, go through him. Okay, fair enough. And that was all we could talk to you about, right? Yes. Okay, this is blocked off. Portal pylon? Wait. No, that's... yeah. The sign we already saw. Quartermaster. What is this random little room here? Toilet, perhaps? Hello, SMS. Huh? Too complicated to pick that little box. Alright, fair enough. How about this one? Yep, too complicated, too complicated. So 3 unpickable boxes, huh? Let me guess, we're gonna get a set of 3 quests from you over the course of the game. By approaching this counter, you become part of a tradition stretching back to the earliest days of the castle. Trying to pry desperately needed supplies out of the hands of an unsympathetic quartermaster. The arch Cesarikai behind the counter says, "Is you news had come of new transfers. Sam S. was told of your face, and here you are. Sam S. can trade, can give more supplies, can give... It's called a per diem, but no more. Little to trade here, supplies are short." Per diem? Can I have my per diem? Okay, 40 coins. "Yes, money for expenses. Can't give every day, but can give as time passes. Sam S. counts out a small pile of silver coins for you." Alright. Can I have more supplies? No word comes of you doing enough. Do more and you get more. Alright, fair enough. I would like to trade with you. "Yes, good. You barter. Give what you found, get what you need. Restock our supplies. It's good. We'll buy, we'll sell. What you want?" Let me see what I can trade for. Okay, quite a lot. Only one type of bow. Which I think is, yeah, cavewood bow must be the very lowest tier of bow. So no upgrade there, unfortunately. That's okay. Nothing super exciting, actually. Could have bought an iron spear here, but I'm glad I found one. Otherwise, I probably would have bought this. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna buy any consumables or anything yet. No, I think we're good. We can sell these 2 things. There you go. No quests, huh? Maybe not yet. I suppose we have seen various bits of evidence at this point that our rank is... Oh, hello, Jasmine. Wait, how did I not see you before? That our rank is going to go up as we, you know, complete more quests, more main quests, and that is going to unlock things for us, including, well, access to quests, of course. Jasmine, there's a young Avernite woman pacing around the courtyard. Her clothes are torn and dirty. It looks like she traveled a very long way to get here. You notice that the guards and soldiers are trying very hard to ignore her. When you meet her gaze, she immediately takes the opportunity to speak with you. "Greetings to you, bold warrior of Avernum. I'm Jasmine, envoy from Silvar, official envoy. Can I trouble you for a moment of your time? Nobody else will speak with me." "You are from Silvar?" "I am, sent by Mayor Augustus personally. An official envoy, so you have to let me stay." "Tell me about Silvar." "A beautiful city, fallen on harder and harder times, in need of help. Not that anyone here will bother to send it." "Well, I mean, resources are scarce, so, you know." How long have you been here?" "Weeks, and I will stay weeks more." Her voice grows conspicuously louder. "I will not go until we have received the help we demand and deserve." Have to let you stay?" I'm an official envoy, like I said, with the papers and everything, and it's part of the compact between the crown and the cities. I'm entitled to room, board, and a hearing in the castle. Until we get our aid, I'm not going." I mean, that seems fair, but maybe I can help. How did you come to be here?" "First, I walked, then I traveled with the caravan, then I walked more. Then I got through Almaria, even though they tried to make me, an official envoy, pay a toll. That took some shouting. And then more walking. It was quite a tale, and dangerous, but I am here now." "Almaria?" "The city on the river to the east. Grown fat and rich over the last century from bridge tolls. But they didn't get a coin from me." "Were you ever attacked?" "Of course. Zombies near Myrtis, bandits south of the Honeycomb, a giant spider on the road to the east. I almost died getting here, and I will be heard." Right. So you want my help? I do. My city, Silvar, is collapsing. Mayor Augustus can't keep control anymore. There are too many malcontents. They want to flee to the south, give up the war, and collapse the bridge. We need someone to come and restore order. If you find anyone in authority, can you get help for us? Please? If we don't get aid, something terrible might happen. I mean, that does sound pretty serious. We certainly don't want that one bridge leading, that connecting the Eastern Gallery and ultimately the Great Cave to be collapsed. That would be pretty bad. Why can't the city guard help? They do what they can, but we don't have enough soldiers, and the traitors are too many. Only a handful of soldiers could tip the balance, and we don't even get that. Collapse the bridge? Silvar guards the lone bridge separating the invaded lands to the north from the rest of Avernum. If it was destroyed, yes, it would stop the Slith horde's advance for a while, but it would only be a temporary reprieve, and it would mean abandoning all of northern Avernum. It is too soon for that. I tend to agree with that. Okay, get help for Silvar. Alright, so we're not supposed to personally go there and set things right, although we might, ultimately. Ask him to speak with your commander. Well, I mean, I think I can imagine how that's gonna go, but let's see. Someone named Jasmine is looking for help for Silvar. Ah, she's still here? And she has you wasting my time too? If the mayor hadn't sent her personally, I would have kicked her out myself. Silvar is out of my area, out of my control. Even if I wanted to send someone there, I couldn't. Don't mention her again. Yeah, that's fair. But the quest is still there, though. Maybe when we eventually get to meet the king himself, that's when we can mention that again. I'm also pretty sure there was something upstairs that we could have checked out, but I decided not to. No, never mind. No, I think I was thinking of this corridor, which as I was walking along it originally, I was thinking of turning around, but it turned out to just be a dead end anyway, from now anyway. Anyway. Okay, no, looks like we've been everywhere we can go for now. Lots of locked doors, of course. None of them pickable, which I guess is good, because that means that we will definitely find some kind of way to open them eventually, if any such way exists. We don't need to worry about our lockpicking skills or anything. Right, throne room currently inaccessible, but everything else has been accessed and explored. Except for the odd little... hidden room, perhaps? I don't know. Maybe it's not necessarily anything. It's just weird that almost all the space is completely used except for, this one place, and then upstairs there was a tiny little room like that. I don't know, maybe at some point. We're gonna be back here multiple times in the future, I'm sure, so, we'll have plenty of time to check for hidden buttons extra carefully. For now, though, I am going to end this episode. I mean, yeah, that worked out perfectly, pretty much. We explored all of this place, saw what there was to see, got some upgrades, and even some extra quests, even though none of them seem to be solvable in the short term, but that's fine. We have plenty of things to do already. And so next time I'm going to... well, I don't know. I was thinking of maybe heading towards the cemetery to deal with the bandits there. Well, I'll figure something out. The grave robbers, yeah, that's right. Or I could actually go... well, I suppose that's on the way to the portal fortress, so in that sense, that would actually be pretty efficient too. Yeah, we might just do that. Deal with the bandits, explore the whole cemetery area, and depending on how long that takes, head south to the portal fortress to get that out of the way. Yeah, that seems like a decent enough plan. But for the time being, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.